I say something for your listeners, I want you guys to be talkative and to be sociable.
What?
She called me a crazy white person, is what Mari called me.
What are you talking about?
If I were to ask you, is a strawberry a fruit or a vegetable? What would you say, Mari?
What kind of question is that?
ようこそ僕たちの Deskwarmers Podcast へ。僕は Ike 先生です。
僕はマシュ先生です。
And today on our Deskwarmers podcast, we have a very exciting guest today. We actually are going to have one of our Japanese teachers on today's episode.
Yes, that is correct.
And before we just hop into it, I do want to go over some key verbiage, terminology they were going to be using during today's episode.
I think it's important we have a little acronym refresher.
Yeah. For those of you who are not part of the JET program, which Matthew and I participated in, that's a program where you live abroad in Japan and teach English to all levels of students. Mm-hmm. And in the program, there are a few key kind of terms that we're going to be commonly using on today's episodes. The one being ALT. And ALT is an assistant language teacher. So that's what Matthew and I were when we were living in Japan.
Yes, that's correct. And I'd like to introduce the other key acronym for today's episode, JTE. You're going to be hearing that a lot. JTE is a Japanese teacher of English. So these are the homeroom teachers or maybe specialized English teachers in the high schools, elementary schools, and kindergartens across Japan.
Yep. And without further ado, we have one of our very special JTEs on our podcast today. I'd love to introduce Mari sensei.
Welcome, Mari. Yokoso.
Hi, Mari. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you for inviting here. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for being on.
I'm very honored to be here as a first JET Japanese English teacher to go on your podcast. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
A very special guest.
Very special.
And Mari, you taught which grades of English typically?
From third grade and sixth grade at elementary school.
Okay.
Wow.
And how long have you been an English teacher for?
I've been working here for 4 years so far.
Yeah. And Mari didn't directly work at either Matthew or I's school because we were high school teachers.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but we got to know you very well because you were very popular among the ALTs in our city.
I don't know why.
You were actually a dear friend of all of us, and you really helped us feel welcome in Japan. So, Mari, I'd love to, throughout this episode, talk more about that relationship between the JTEs and ALTs. Because I know depending on the circumstance, sometimes you can be very close with your fellow coworkers, and sometimes it's a bit more challenging as well.
Yeah.
So what is it typically like to work alongside ALT?
So the best part that I can work with ALTs whenever we can make up like a teaching plan, that means we are already got to know each other and be like become friends, so it's easier for me to provide our students like English and in fun English we can teach them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so kind of when you get to work closely with an ALT and you begin the relationship with the ALT, you get to work more closely, and your work can be even more special, and you are having more fun with the kids that you're teaching, and it's a better learning environment.
Yes, so true. So my motto is when I have a class with students, for myself, I want to enjoy. I want to have fun and providing English for kids. So, if I feel, wow, I love teaching with fun, in fun way, kids can take it. So kids can feel it. Wow, English is so fun because look at teachers, they're having fun and speaking English and looks fun because look at the teacher, they look so fun, something like that. That's my motto. So I'm doing every time I'm doing my best, and I want to share that like a teaching plan with ALTs, and we are making plan.
Yeah.
Always, yes, the best way and try to teach for kids.
Yeah, I think that's great. I wonder, Mari, how did you start wanting to learn English more? Or what made you want to pursue being an English teacher?
Well, that's a good question.
No, that's a good question. To tell you the truth, until junior high school, I didn't like English.
What?
Oh.
No.
Yes, way.
No.
So, but now Japanese education, the English education in Japan is getting changing, that I hope. So, junior high school, elementary school, they're learning English in more like a oral conversation way, but still in junior high school, we have
it's mostly grammar, right?
Yes, still because that we have like exam, exam culture. So of course we know speaking and listening are very important, but also we have to study for exam, try to get the high score and the
test
exam.
based.
So yes, so still junior high school, and we have to study more, focusing on writing, reading, grammatically in grammar way. So, but back in my junior high school age, I was doing only for the teachers taught me just for grammatically writing and yes, reading. That's why that made me feel that made me hate English.
So there was no fun.
No fun.
Were there any games?
No games.
What?
And even I never met ALTs in junior high school.
Oh, really?
No ALTs. Yes.
So when was the first time you met an ALT or had an ALT?
In high school.
Ah.
Okay.
Yes.
And
actually, I graduated from the high school where you used to teach.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's awesome. So
yes. That high school, I met the greatest English teacher. My perspective of English totally changed because he was the person who was able to speak English and have a communication with ALT so naturally and fluently. So that made me so shocked, kind of shocked. Wow, I never seen such a world. Look at them, they're having their conversation is so much fun. So I want to be like that. I want to be like him. That's
a really
maybe the first start.
That's a really cool example of how a teacher can inspire you to become what you want to be and give you a good idea about the future.
It only takes one really good teacher, right? And I do agree completely with Mari that a lot of the teaching of English in Japan is very focused on the grammatics and vocabulary. And so it's almost like part of the ALT's job to try to transition into the more oral classroom as well as to help with speaking as well. So,
Yes.
like, I was very lucky that my school had like a debate club and English club and other chances to speak more with the students. So
That's important. How important for Japanese people to get improving is our English skill.
Yes. Yeah. I really want to ask as well, Mari, you've told me this story before, but it was an ALT that actually helped you meet your current husband. Is that correct?
Whoa.
Yes.
Could you tell that story to us?
Of course, because that's how we are like always welcoming for ALTs, whoever come to our culture, our prefecture. So, how I met my husband was one of ALTs that I did hang out with. She was my husband's coworker.
Ah.
Yes, and the reason why she wanted us to be together and wanted us to get married in the future, because she really wanted to get our wedding in Japan, because she never, yes, she dreamed of attending Japanese wedding.
Wow.
So yes, that's how
So
we
the ALT introduced you two to each other, and then you started dating after that, and he's also an English teacher, and actually now he manages the ALTs in our city.
Oh, really?
So
yes,
yeah,
so true. Yes, and plus, he's my boss too. He
You're
is
married
in
to your
charge
boss.
of English at the Board of Education, BOE. So he is in charge of ALTs and also me.
Wow.
Yes, actually,
that's-
I'm a little bit like basically I get hired by BOE City Hall. So my position is a little bit unique, a little bit different from the full-time teacher working at school. So yes, I'm a kind of the supportive English teacher.
Ah.
And kind of the same situation as the LTs. I go to different schools every day. And sometimes some schools, I work with homeroom teacher and to support them in English. And some schools, of course, I work with ALTs and make plans and teach together English.
Okay.
And,
So
yes.
well, this makes sense why every ALT loves you, is because they're either working with you or they're working with a homeroom teacher who might be a little more difficult to work with.
Well, Mari does a great job of understanding our situation.
Yes.
Because she transitions to all these schools similar to us. So I wonder, Mari, how do you handle being at a different school every day? Like, how do you make friends with coworkers? Because maybe it's more natural for you, but I think certain like ALTs have a more difficult time making friends with their coworkers.
Oh.
Do you have any advice?
This is a Discord question of the week, actually. So this question was sent in by one of our listeners.
Yes.
So I think I'm a Japanese, but even for me, it's I shouldn't say difficult, but it's sometimes difficult for me to fit in each school, because I'm a kind of the once a week I go that school, the same school, because I go to basically different schools. So it's sometimes difficult to fit in the school. Even I'm Japanese, I totally understand my coworkers at that school. all of them are Japanese, but I'm a kind of the guest, so I feel like alone sometimes. Even I'm Japanese, so I feel ALT's feeling, what they think. So, but and how I tried to fit in and get along with coworkers, teachers at each school. I think at school, teachers are so busy basically. So yes, all the time. But it does, so they're not enough time to try to chat at the teacher's room. But it isn't necessary. They want to try to talk to new or like the teacher, like me or ALT sitting like as a guest alone. Just they're busy, but they want to have a chat for some reason anyway. So but just they're like waiting. They're not trying to talk to us from them. Just they're waiting, but they want us to try to talk to them. They love like a question. So I'm trying to talk to them from me. I go first. And of course they're teachers, so they love to have questions because they love to teach. So anyway, if I have a question or I want to have a chat, I go first. I try to talk to them.
Yeah.
And we start having a conversation.
I think that's a really like good perspective though, because anytime like one of the coworkers at my school would come up to us or like come up to me, like they would always, lead with, "Oh, I know you're so busy," or "I know you might not have much time." So I think it goes both ways, right? That a lot of the times they also think that we are very busy with what we're doing. And so they might be more afraid to talk to us, or they don't want to like interrupt or come across as like not knowing what to say maybe. But I did find for sure that anytime I had like a question or needed assistance, like everyone was very willing and excited to like help me out. Like I would ask them like Japanese questions or even like something about kanji or English lessons, and they're always very helpful in those scenarios.
Yeah.
So I think they're waiting.
Yeah, they are waiting. For me, with having 3 schools that I went to multiple times a month, for 2 schools, I had like awesome JTEs who pushed me to talk to my coworkers because you're right in saying that they're waiting for us to ask questions and like they want to help and they want to get to know you. They want to talk to you. They might not know when the best time to bother you is because they don't want to bother you while you're working, while you're lesson planning, things like that. So at 2 schools, I had such a great shokuinshitsu, teacher office environment. But at one of my schools, I was not really pressured, I guess, to talk to my coworkers. So after 3 or 4 months, I still didn't know many of their names, and I just only would talk to maybe the same 2 or 3 people, and I never like the environment in the teacher's office was kind of weird, very professional, and not a very fun environment, right?
It can definitely feel like the longer you're out of school without talking, the more pressure you feel to not break the silence or to not get out of your comfort zone. But even if you've been there for a while, I know like once I decided to go to like after school volleyball club or tennis club, and I only did these activities a few times while I was there, but no matter how long I had been there or like when I would go, they were still super excited for me to show up. And I think it goes the same with just the like classroom experiences too, or the teacher, experience that as long as you take the first step, like Mari said, that they're happy to help.
Yeah.
But
so creating good connections with your colleagues, ask them questions, and get interested. Take the initiative.
Yes, that's right.
And
Confidence.
another question I had, Mari, is I know sometimes there's certain like English teachers that maybe have trouble working with ALTs or maybe don't want an ALT in their classroom. Does that also happen to you as well? Or what are some ways that you think people can, you know, rise above the situation, or that they can, you know, feel more like safe or natural in that scenario?
Sorry, I heard some that situation from the previous ALTs or current ALTs, but I think that's simple. Japanese English teachers, they need more effort to try to have a communication with ALTs and get to know more about ALTs. And I don't say all of them, but you know, some teachers, if they don't invite ALTs to the classroom and they don't work together or something, they don't think that the working together is very important.
Yeah.
So that's the point. So if they have a conversation beforehand or making a plan, or they have more interact to share and the topic or what to do, or even in personal, and they want to get to know more each other, it won't happen such a like a problem, I'm sure. Just a miscommunication and like a shortage of conversation.
Yeah.
Together. Communication, shortage of communication, for
Yeah.
sure.
So if like any of our listeners are having an issue getting invited to English classes, like some of our other podcast guests before this, I'll put an episode card if you want to check their episode out where we talked about that. They just weren't invited to the classroom to teach English week after week. So you're saying that maybe better communication and more conversations would be helpful.
Go first.
Yeah.
Yes, try to ask teachers, Japanese English teachers, what should I do? What am I doing for your class or something? Go first. Try to go first.
And I also feel as well that in a lot of those scenarios where the Japanese English teachers might have trouble with the interactions, it might also be partly because their English skills are a little bit lower as well. Because I think sometimes they're afraid to speak English to one of us, right? Which makes it maybe they're shy or embarrassed or something. And so that can also be like a hurdle that they have to overcome. But just by you going first and talking to them, I think it puts a lot of the, it takes all of the pressure away.
Yeah. I had a JTE who would tell me to stay behind in the teacher's room whenever he was teaching about grammar or teaching in the workbook. But I had to fight. I had to be like, okay, I will come in and just watch the class. If you have nothing for me to do, if you're telling me to stay behind because you don't want me to be bored in the classroom, instead of sitting at my desk, I would try sometimes. Sometimes I liked to have a break. But other times I would go to the classroom and just be like, I'm coming with you and I'm just going to watch the class. And that makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
So I think every teachers wants to do something like provide the better English for students, even high school, elementary school, junior high school. We all think the same way, but maybe the approaching is a little bit different. Basically Japanese people, we are like a kind of have a culture like a humble way.
Humble.
So humble. So we have a culture after you Go
Humble.
ahead. Humble. Go ahead after you. So you should go first. So we
Yeah.
will wait, something like that. So, and you guys to fit in that culture, maybe you need a little bit more efforts. But if I say something for your listeners, I want you guys to be talkative and to be sociable and, to be like a go first way.
Yeah.
But this is a little bit difficult part, but go first means, not to go aggressive. Japanese society is kind of like a group, like a team willing to do like
Yeah.
as a teamwork, group way. So, be the third one, and be like go first means, not in selfish way, just in cooperated way.
Yeah.
So a little bit complicated but difficult, but if you prepare before you applied for the JET program, Japanese society is like that. So I should be more like a prepare. You can prepare in beforehand. The Japanese society is like that. So be talkative and more social and like go first. But
Yeah.
That's good advice.
Yeah, I know, especially like a lot of the ALTs want to do more at their schools, where they want to be more involved or make change or initiative. And so it all comes down to you, right? Like you have to be the one to try to break the norms and go above the steps. But I want to share a funny like communication story as well, because I think it goes that, I mean, I've learned some Japanese as well, but I am by no way very, very jozu at all, actually. And the funniest time was with Mari, and this was our Hokkaido trip, actually, right before the Hokkaido trip.
Oh.
And so Mari is saying to bring her back some omiyage. Bring me back some gifts, please.
yes.
Mari asked for two things. She asked me to bring her back crab because she wanted Hokkaido crab,
Yes,
which I
very
could not
famous.
do. I couldn't bring
And
the
expensive,
crab, sadly.
yes.
You
Yeah.
need a freezer. Or...
And the other thing, Mari strangely called me Shiroi Henjin. She called me a crazy white person, is what Mari called me.
What are you talking about?
Did
That
you
your
really call
Japanese
him
is so low. What's so low? That's why.
Did you call
I
him
didn't
that?
ask you that favor.
Mari, what did you actually ask me for?
Actually, in Hokkaido, there is one like a famous souvenir, a sweets, and that is called shiroi koibito. Everyone, Japanese people,
Yeah.
everyone knows that souvenir is very famous popular in Hokkaido. Even, that factory, like a tour, that factory and show open the tour. So that factory, and we can look around how the process, how to make it from the beginning to end. And we can eat that shiroi koibito, kind of the cookie, the square cookie.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
eat
I've had that.
and
I've had
yes,
that.
get a lot of enjoy that in that factory.
So,
Even that
Mari,
famous.
how would you translate shiroi koibito into English?
Lover, the white
Yeah.
lover.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
means like white lover, but the thing is she typed this message to me online, and which is the messaging app in Japan, and my kanji skills were maybe not up to par.
Very
because,
low. This
Yeah,
this level.
very low kanji skills.
Lowest
because
one.
because I read shiroi, and then I get to the next kanji, and I think it means like crazy, but actually it means love. They're a little similar. I wouldn't say they're the most
Big
similar.
difference, right?
Yeah,
Big difference.
there's a big difference. And so Mari is calling me this Shiroi Henjin.
Yes.
And actually not a crazy person, but she wanted me to bring her back these special like chocolate cookie wafers.
Yes, yes.
And I think it's always best that, you know, like laughing about these situations. And I think Mari has a great sense of humor. So it's very funny, but it's like there's always going to be, you know, areas of miscommunication, or there's always going to be things that maybe one party doesn't understand. But
Definitely.
as long as you're able to, you know, come together through those experiences.
Sure. If you move to Japan as someone who is not Japanese, you will have miscommunications, communication issues, things like that. It's just going to happen. There's no amount of preparation you can do to stop the miscommunication, but you can try. You can try.
Yeah. And
Yes.
sometimes it might be difficult, but the thing I love about Japanese people as well is they will never like make fun of you, or they will never like belittle your Japanese skill or anything. Like they want you to try, right? And as long as you try, then they will acknowledge your efforts, I think.
Yes, yes.
So, because Mari, did you hope that the ALTs would speak some Japanese as well, or did you mainly converse in English?
I want to speak with you guys in English because maybe your podcast are like a keyword deskwarm, maybe related deskwarm, and I'm always doing something related to English on my desk at school. So of course, sometimes I have chat with ALTs in English, or sometimes I exchange like studying together, Japanese and English together.
Yeah.
Or even some places, I work with English specialties. They're working at one school and teaching teaching English. And when I work with them, I support them in English.
Yeah.
And even we are Japanese, but when we were at the teacher's room and we are speaking, we try to speak and make a plan how to make a better plan in English. So and everything I'm doing something related to English, because everything that I learned and when I get a knowledge in the classroom, I can give back to the student. Everything I can return when I learned what I learned, my knowledge in English, return to my students, Japanese kids, right? So I prefer spending a lot of time at teacher's room or in private in English. That's trying to my best.
So as a teacher, it's beneficial for you to spend most of your time talking in English, discussing things in English, working with ALTs in English, because it helps you practice, and then you can push that English back onto the students. As you've trained with your English so much like that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Everything I can return to my students. That's what I want to do that. And
nice.
Of course, I want Japanese students to improve English. That's my goal. Yes.
That's your job.
I think you're that's the perfect image of what a teacher should be like. So I have a lot of respect for you, Mari, for doing all of that work.
Yeah,
for your
even
students.
your shiroi koibito, you should respect me. You should study Japanese more. And you should have tried to be friend with me. After you improve. Sorry.
I gave up on Japanese.
No.
No.
We were just talking about how you use Japanese in your work.
Yes.
I a little bit.
You don't
know,
give
but-
up.
Don't give up.
Don't
Because,
give up.
maybe your listeners, some of them might be your like a previous students.
Yeah.
How you could say, I give up? Teachers should be,
頑張ります。
shouldn't, yes, 頑張ってね.
You can't give up, Ike.
So
Yeah, you can't give up.
So instead of talking more about my many, mistakes or lack of
So
effort,
many mistakes.
I'd love to flip the script here and talk about one of Mari's mistakes.
Oh.
And so Mari is
Are you talking
amazing.
about, yes,
Yes.
the
I will.
food or something that
Yes.
we share?
So Mari would invite some of the ALTs in our city over for dinners. And so we would come to her house and she would cook for us and we would have a lot of fun speaking together. And one time though, Mari is cooking takoyaki, which is the little fried octopus balls.
Yes.
And for some reason, these takoyaki, they're in the kind of tray cooking, in the circle tray, but they're not really turning into
Right.
takoyaki. They don't, something is wrong with these takoyaki. And Mari, what happened to this batch of takoyaki that you so laboriously prepared? What was wrong with the takoyaki?
I think
Do you remember?
It almost every time when I served the food for you was perfect, I think. But if I say tiny mistake I made, maybe egg.
Yeah, Mari forgot
I
the egg in the
forgot
batter.
No.
The egg.
And so
You
these
know-
takoyakis,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
they stayed like soft. They never like hardened up.
Yeah, you need
And
that egg.
and so she like was cooking them for so long, and they never
Mari,
turned into
the egg holds
takoyaki.
everything
Solid.
together.
Yeah.
Every food, right? That including egg, like a pudding or
Yeah.
everything. Egg does the like a base, right? Main to
Yeah.
liquid into solid,
Hmm.
right? I hate science. Is it science?
No,
That's
no,
why
it
you're
is
an
science.
English
I love
teacher.
this. This is like a food science lecture.
Right?
I like this.
Yes.
This is cool.
So basically, I don't like science. So that what does egg like turn into, right? I know what
chicken.
does
Am I wrong?
You're on to
correct.
something.
See, so I wanted to prove on your podcast, I went on your podcast as a Japanese English teacher. Basically, maybe it's rare. When I check the podcast YouTube, basically Japanese English teacher doesn't show up and to say whatever they think in English. Don't
Wow.
you think? Because
Yeah, you're right.
I won't say that their English are not good enough, but basically they're busy. Maybe some of them are very great, like a perfect speaking English perfect, but most of the our position and like a Japanese English teacher, they don't have, including me, we don't have a confidence to show our skill on YouTube, post it on YouTube or something like that. Because, for me, for sure, my English is not good enough. So, whenever I see the Japanese YouTuber who are related, content related to English, their English are perfect. That's why, they, of course, they're ready to post on the YouTube or podcast. But, my level, Japanese people are not, we are humble, but, we don't have a confidence. So, that's why, and, so insecure, something like
Well,
that. So,
Mari, your English is good.
I won't,
You're very talented.
so I
yeah.
wanted to, because I accepted your offer to go on your podcast, and I wanted to prove, I want to show your listeners, even my English skill is not good enough, but, I can communicate with you guys, and we can make a great real friendship with you guys. That's what
Definitely.
I wanted to tell you. So I'm here.
Yeah, I think that's a great story, and we really appreciate you coming on as well, because to share all your insights. I liked to go back to the egg analogy though, that the egg is what holds everything together, right? I think for us Jets in Japan,
ALTs.
I think for us ALTs in Japan, thank you, Matthew. It's really the JTEs that hold us all together, because we need them, right, for our classrooms, and we need them to help us form those relationships.
That's true.
But it's a great, and the whole purpose of the JET program is really to develop those connections between Japan and other countries as well, right? Because it's really rare in Japan, to have a chance to interact with foreigners. And so I think the JET program does a really good job of helping people, mingle together as well.
That's a really good point. I mean, the JET program isn't just about, bringing ALTs to teach high schoolers or elementary schoolers or kids, but bringing ALTs to work with the English teachers to make their English education a lot better. And not every English teacher is going to be able to speak English, like many elementary elementary homeroom teachers. So they really need that ALT kind of influence to help guide that education. And I like what you said about bringing people from all over the world. It's just the grassroots internationalization that really goes into effect here.
So you guys on a job is not for only teaching, but also, bring in your culture or your personality to show your personality. And we know Japanese kids will find out, wow, there are a lot of people around the world and different personality, and of course on a different culture. That's the key, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we always say that we are ambassadors of our country.
Yes.
So we're coming from our country to help teach about a lot of our, culture and customs, and share that impact to everyone. Now, sometimes there may be some, disagreements though between countries or mindset. Mari, there's actually something I disagree with one of your views.
Oh.
And if I were to ask you, is a strawberry a fruit or a vegetable? What would you say, Mari?
What kind of question is that?
Don't you know this is a very famous question?
I have no idea.
Debate, right? Two ways.
So, Mari, which side are you on? Do you think a strawberry is a fruit or a vegetable?
For me, strawberry is a fruit.
Oh, thank you.
Wait!
Thank you.
You've changed! She's changed!
Did you think it was a vegetable?
So, Mari, when I asked you this...
Strawberries are vegetable.
Why?
But not maybe, but of course a discussion. So half of them, they think strawberry is a vegetable.
Okay.
But yes, half and half, I think.
What is the reasoning, Mari, that people think strawberry is a vegetable? Because if I recall correctly, I think you said that fruits grow on trees. And if it doesn't grow on trees, then it's a vegetable.
Yes, so strawberry is not categorized by fruit because how do strawberry grow?
On a
On
bush.
a bush.
Yes, right? So not on the tree. So what? Why are you laughing?
For Americans, like, this has never been a debate.
Never.
This has never been a question that we ask ourselves. But through the JET program, I realized, like, things like this, that there's so many different worldviews. But I'm very happy that you have changed your perspective and that you now agree that strawberry is a fruit.
Actually, Anna, I'll tell you why. One of the reasons why I'm teaching actually third graders at the elementary school. They're learning fruit and vegetable.
Yeah. Okay.
So each like that name of them.
Yeah.
And basically, and when I teach them the strawberries or like strawberry is something that in a vegetable group or a fruit group or something like that. I have to teach them. That's why when I teach so which two groups and apple, which group can you name vegetable and fruit they're learning? So which group in it? And of course fruit. All right, grapes, fruit. And how about the green peppers? Vegetable. How about strawberries? So,
Well,
even
okay.
half of students are not sure fruit or vegetable.
Okay,
So
okay,
even me,
Mari.
teacher, I have an example. I have to show the example. So I get confused. Kids get confused. So
Mari.
I decided to put it in what?
Okay, that's all good, but like if you say strawberry is not a fruit because it doesn't grow on a tree, what about grapes?
That's a vine.
Fruit.
But so what about a blueberry? That's also a bush.
Fruit.
Yeah. Okay, so we all agree. We all agree.
I think the typical logic for people in the US is if it has seeds, then it's a fruit?
Fruit category, yeah, fruit.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking about it, like a bell pepper has seeds, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
And I
there's
know
tomato.
For Americans, tomatoes are always the debate because people don't know if tomatoes are a fruit or vegetable.
But it has.
I think
What do you think,
technically-
tomatoes?
I think technically it's a
I think it's a fruit.
technically it's a fruit, but people I still would be fine calling it a vegetable, I guess.
Tomato
That's
in
where-
Japan, we categorized vegetable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are those on trees?
No, they grow out of a little
No,
plant from the ground.
Yes.
Okay, well,
let's move on. This is
can't-
crazy.
This logic is too much. There's
Someone
too much.
should, look up, then research and let me know.
Yeah, let's listeners
back
and
to it.
viewers at home, please
Yes,
do
yes,
your
yes, yes.
research. Is a strawberry a fruit or not? In the comments, weigh in, please.
I want to know. Yes, please let me know.
Please comment on our videos, please.
お願いします.
Onegaishimasu.
Thank you.
I had a question.
Yes.
Do you have any advice for any future ALT on how they can prepare before coming to Japan? I know you said you talked about having a mindset of like be
Socialize.
Outgoing,
sociable,
Outgoing.
but not too aggressive. But is there anything like maybe action wise rather than just a mindset that you can think of?
I think they should study about Japanese culture beforehand. And yes, value of Japanese, how they fit in how are Japanese people like or something beforehand before they get to Japan.
Yeah.
If they like a research or maybe I'm watching YouTube and
Yeah.
how the
Yeah.
Japanese younger people's like attitude or like behave or something like that might work. I think.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you one like a good example. If it might work or not, but we all know that we have a friend, Steven.
Steven.
Yeah.
Right? And I have, even now he left here, but I have some
Sad.
like chances to talk with him even now. Sometimes he came over to here, yeah, and he stayed over sometimes, and we still like keep in touch with him.
That's
I
good.
keep in touch with him, but and I think when he got here, his Japanese was like a none. He didn't know any Japanese when he got here, but I worked with him not on the same day, but at the same school. But he became so popular at school that we worked, and because he created his like own words,
Opportunities.
His own words?
Yes.
Oh, he definitely
Maybe-
did. Yeah,
Yes.
I know.
So I want to show you, and maybe it worked for the listeners who wants to apply for JET program from now on. But some like a Nihongo, Japanese, and English like a mixture.
Yeah.
So
Japanglish.
Nihongolish, yes.
Nihongolish.
Nihongolish. Yes, can
So
I
what
show
are
you
what are some
something?
examples?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Sorry. So sumimasen and I'm sorry. Sorry. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And what else? Like a gomen. なんだったっけ?
Gomenna sorry?
Yes. なんだったっけ他に。excuse me. すみま excuse me. すみま
Excuse me.
すみま excuse me.
So excuse
My-
me and
Yes, すみません plus excuse me. すみま excuse me. And
Yeah.
ごめんなさい and I'm sorry together. ごめんな sorry.
Gomenna sorry.
ごめんな
My-
sorry.
My favorite one is ikimago.
Ikimago.
For ikimas and like let's go. So ikimago or
Ikimago. Yes.
I think Steven would say Ikima showtime.
Or yes.
Or Hajimema showtime.
Yes. So he found his own place at school, like
Yeah.
as a like
Yeah.
a Stevenized or something like that.
He Stevenized the school.
Yes. So
We'll have
he
to get him on.
became popular. So at the end, maybe when the time when he left the school, he gave away the bill, which is like $1, I think. But
Mari. I made those for him. Steven asked me, he's like, hey, could you
You're a
put my
genius.
picture on a $1 bill? Because I was really big into Photoshop and making a bunch of things like that.
Yeah.
And so I went and I printed out a bunch of these like $5, $10, and $100 of like Steven's money. And he would go ahead.
You're so genius. So
Thank you.
actually, I
Tensai desu.
didn't know that. Yes, tensai. When I was at school, and kids were looking for Steven. So I asked them, why you're looking for Steven today? The day he was not supposed to be there. Instead of him, I'm here. Why you're looking for Steven? And even at the teacher's room, there are a lot of lines waiting for him in front of the teacher's room. So I asked them, what are you doing here? And they said, waiting for him and get money, get the bill from him.
Steven owes them money.
Yes. He is the man that give away dollars to kids.
Yeah.
So would
And
he make them speak English or something to give away the money? Or why would he?
Know.
I think so. So
Maybe
he was.
I'm
Yeah, so he was using it in the classroom. Some people give away stickers or draw a little picture, like if a student does well on a test.
Kids
So
love stickers.
He was using
Yes,
this
yes.
as classroom participation, and I think it was a great idea. I'm glad that he was able to use that in his school. It sounds like that made him really popular and a
Yes.
really successful ALT.
Yes, and don't you think, because basically, even the fake one, the teachers give away money to students. Of course, even in Japanese society, it's not allowed. But every teacher, even vice principal, thinks, oh, that's Steven.
Yeah,
It's okay.
everyone knows.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's
So,
amazing. Yeah, it's amazing how much you can still do, if you're able to like come up with something fun that your students will enjoy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe I create some ideas before they're coming to Japan. And that maybe you guys think of like a Japanese people, like a how can I say stereotype? Maybe we're like wearing glasses and so like don't say any jokes and we don't have a sense of humor or something like that. Maybe I don't know stereotype what you guys think of, but basically we love like a comedy stuff, or like we love like listening
Good-
to that, like
good
a
sense of
jokes
humor.
or something.
Yeah.
Yes, good sense of humor. That's why maybe create some like jokes or like ideas beforehand, and get to know that like a Japanese what we are like, or some Japanese people like, and beforehand study preparation, have a preparation beforehand, and
Maybe
come.
Yeah. Maybe
Might be
some
work.
Michael Jordans.
Please be quiet.
何ですかね、それ。
Ike, don't bring that up.
Can
Don't
you
bring
shut
that
up?
up. Don't bring that up. Can you shut up,
Can you be
please?
quiet, please?
Yeah, please be
Yes,
quiet. Please be
yes,
quiet.
yes.
So I know I'm sorry.
You can disappear. You can disappear.
So the last-
you disappeared.
Yeah, you disappeared.
My power went out. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're running out of time, but the last thing I want to share, and then Mari, I want you to, if you have anything you want to encourage last, or maybe shout out someone that you're like grateful for. It could be me. You could shout out me if you want to
me.
say, "Oh, I'm so happy I met Ike." But what I want to close off with is the final gift Mari left me before I left Japan. So Mari heard that I was leaving. It was very sad. And she decided to come driving very quickly over to my apartment because my flight was coming up. And
I was there.
yep, Matthew was there to send me away. And Mari comes driving over. She thanks Sam and I. She says, "Oh, I have a gift for you." And we're very excited. She pulls out from the konbini on the way there.
Summertime.
Yeah, it's middle of summer, August, super hot outside.
Super hard.
Mari had the great idea to buy some frozen chocolate bar for me during the summertime. Who wouldn't want that, right? It's cold in the heat. It would
was
feel
a
great.
hot day.
The only problem was two things, I guess. One was my white shirt. And the second was that she had waited a little bit to give this chocolate bar to me. And so my favorite crunch bar I decide to eat on my way out, and it just is dripping like all over my shirt. Like, and this is before I had 24 hours of travel. And so I did not change my shirt. I wore a chocolatey shirt for the next 24 hours. And that was the gift Mari gave to me.
That's how you
on my way
left
out.
Japan.
Sweet
Yeah.
I am, right?
Oh, so sweet.
Can I tell you one thing about it?
Yeah,
You know.
of course.
of course, Sam ate the ice cream very neat and, didn't get dirty on, because, you guys are, of course, and I gave ice cream to the, like, a mature adult, like a grown-up people. Mm-hmm. How could you imagine staying on the teeth? How did you raise? Right?
It was probably my fault. You're right.
Yes.
It was my favorite chocolate bar, so I can't complain.
And now it's his favorite chocolate shirt.
Yes.
Yeah, I probably threw the shirt. I probably
keep it that shirt with a stain on it.
I don't think I have it anymore, to be honest. I think it's gone.
You had to throw it away.
Not nice. Goodbye, ex-friend.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I appreciated the gift, though. It was very nice that you wanted to come and see me off as I left Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun.
Mari,
Matthew, did you have any other?
No, I mean, I was just gonna say how great it is to finally have someone like a Japanese teacher of English on for the first time, and just say, Mari, thank you on behalf of.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you on behalf of all of the ALTs from our area, who you helped support, like Sam and Ike and Steven and everyone else in the area. Everyone always talked so well about you.
Yeah, thank you. But basically, I love you guys, and always, and I wanted to do something for you guys because I want you guys to be comfortable living in our town, my town. So that's my that's my purpose to.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you really did a great job of that. You took the extra step.
Thank you. And could you do me a favor?
Okay.
Of course.
Actually, this is my first time to go on the podcast. So, if I can, I want to try to be MC because I don't have such a chance. So.
Okay.
Oh, in English or Japanese?
Japanese? Why don't we do it? I want to ask you guys in Japanese, the question in Japanese.
Okay. Maybe?
We can try.
I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to answer any questions in Japanese, but we can give it a shot, I guess.
Okay.
簡単な質問お願い。
Okay.
Kantan.
Don't worry. Okay. So, welcome to Mari's podcast.
英語でなんで英語
I'm MC. I'm allowed to speak both Japanese and English, but you guys are not allowed to
That's
speak
right. Dang.
English.
She's got us on that one.
ようこそマリのポッドキャストへ。Are you nervous? 緊張してますか？
めっちゃ緊張してます。
ちょっとだけ。
大丈夫。You're getting used to it. 慣れますよ。大丈夫。じゃあ、質問しますね。日本で一番思い出に残った楽しい思い出は何ですか？ Guys, what's your the best moment, best memory living in Japan? 一番楽しかったナンバーワンな思い出は何ですか？日本語ですよ。じ
ゃあ僕は始まる。一番思い残ってる時は、まあ婚約者に会ったからとサムと会う後にまあ、それが一番良かった。でもその2番目はマリに会ったところ。
なんで2番目かな
I'm very thankful to have met my fiance, but second, I am thankful to have met Mari.
Don't worry, you're the second best because the first the ALD was on when previous long time ago, and you are the second best.
Always second
I
best.
could never get better.
Same.
Oh, yeah. Matthew? マッシュ一番
一番はマッシュ何ですか？
その時に。その日
何の
は。
時？
何の時？
ある日
は。
あれ、
暖かった。グリーンランドに。夏でグリーンランドにで行きました。友達と一緒に、そのコースター、ジェットコースターで、しました。乗りましたと、shoot! Oh my gosh! トルネード、グリーンランドでトルネードポテト食べた初めてです。そして、この日は私の一番思い出ので、
楽しい思い出。
グリーンランド。
グリーンランドが一番の楽しい思い出。
Yes. So there's a theme park in Kumamoto in the town of Arao called Greenland. And I remember the first time, because a bunch of schools do school trips to Greenland over the summer or sometimes. And it's like, oh, the whole school is going to Greenland. And we're like, what? How are you flying to Greenland? Like, no, the Greenland amusement park.
Yes.
There are roller coasters, which in Japanese you call jet coaster. And I had a tornado potato, which is a very long... It's like a big French fry. It's a cut potato that's fried and rolled in like salt or whatever seasoning.
It is very good.
And I had a fun time with my friends on that day. Man, it's been a long time since I've spoken Japanese.
I was rusty as well.
No, you were not.
You guys did, yes, that's a great job. Your Japanese are still good. I'm glad to hear that.
Oh no, I've failed you, Mari.
Well, no,
Mari, I'm hijacking the podcast back. Mari no podcast wa 終わります。
終わります。
終わりさせます。I just want to thank you one more time.
Thank you for having me.
It was so much fun. I'm really excited. Hopefully your words can spread to many ALTs and just people that, want to know more about Japan. So,
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mari.
Thank you for having me. I wonder if you edit this one. I wonder how long will it to be? Maybe it's very short.
No.
You did great.
You did great.
So much fun.
You
did fine. And everyone at home, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Give us a follow. Bye.
Bye. Mata ne.
Bye.
Mata.